No peak for me.
All right.
You're gonna peak.
See.
Holy shit! You know what I don't have up?
What?
The fucking show notes.
Oh man, that's
That'd
Because
be
bad.
I was digging around. I was digging around with that other stuff.
Cody, you're our guy for that.
I know. Supposed to be my role.
Show is
Oh
about to
my God.
crash and burn.
A little bit, maybe.
That's okay, because I mean, the first thing that we're gonna talk about is that crazy news from, was it Ubisoft Montreal?
Yes.
Wow,
Super serious too.
that
So
was
like,
scary.
I know normally I say silly shit and I try and be funny, but like, goddamn, like I was like, sitting in my office and I saw the first couple tweets about it getting retweeted. I was like, what is going on? And then like I looked at some of the pages for some of the devs and I like literally saw as one of the team leads who was working remotely was like, that's my team on the roof. I saw him tweet that. I was like, holy shit.
Shit's cray cray.
Yeah,
I didn't look. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't pay too much attention to it because I was like, if it turns out really bad, we'll know, and if it turns out really good, it'll just be a quick little like tweet, and that's exactly what it ended up being. Is it turned out well? Nobody got hurt.
yeah. thank
Everybody's
goodness.
probably traumatized, but
Yeah, I saw
mean,
some of
trauma-
the footage of them on the roof,
Yeah.
man. Oh my goodness.
traumatization over death. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I-
Yeah.
I saw one of the tweets I saw was somebody saying, "Is this real?" And then how I actually found that team lead was like, he was like, "I assume so because I was just on the phone with everybody and they're like, we gotta go," and they were hiding under desks and stuff. I was like, what the hell?
So what was it? Was it
Crazy.
an active shooter? Like, what did it end up being?
There was a
situation.
call. There's a call made, which was apparently from the building that their studio was in.
Right.
And it was something, from what I read, it was something like someone saying, give me like $2 million or I'm going to blow everyone up or something along those lines.
What? Hold on. What?
Yeah, it was just some crazy threat.
But why would you go to the roof?
I have no idea what
I
any of
guess-
these protocols were.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but if
Okay,
they're threatening
so-
to blow up the building, why would you go to the roof?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
think
read-
that's what it was. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna read a little bit from Ars Technica. The 911 call that set the police response in motion was a hoax. This is an update from 7:15. Montreal police confirmed only that the police operation was over with no threat detected and no injuries reported. The original story was a tense situation at the Ubisoft Montreal game studio ended Friday with staffers being formally escorted out of the building by police. At one point, dozens of staffers had been barricading themselves on the roof for over 2 hours. I don't see anything about a bomb here.
Yeah,
But
I can't remember where I
no.
found it.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as nobody got hurt, it's kind of.
I mean, they called
No.
SWAT in.
I know it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's not funny, but in a way, swatting the development team.
Right. That's like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a swatting incident more than
Yeah.
anything.
Swatting is fucked up in general, but like that's an office building. Like if you hear about active shooters, like yes, schools are one of the more common reported ones, but one of the most common ones to actually have happen is fucking office buildings. This shit
Mhm.
happens to people's works. So like
Right.
to have that I can't even imagine, dude. Like that's whoever did that, let me just say from us to you, fuck off with that shit, man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
not funny.
Go fuck yourself. That's what I thought you were about to say.
I thought about it.
Same message.
Same
message.
idea.
A nice big cup of go fuck yourself.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Justin, I need to hear your voice in commercials someday.
Pay me.
I need to hear it.
Let's do it. Let's
Pay
make some
Pay me,
commercials.
We could make
No.
fake commercials and put them on OLIP.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
What are some good fake things that we could advertise? Things that gamers need.
We could advertise objects from in-game.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
So, like,
Get
we
the
could do-
entire set of Dragon Balls for this $9.99.
or do like an ad for like Nuka-Cola, do one for like Salt from BioShock, do one
Mhm.
for I mean,
That could be
shit.
fun, man. I've been thinking about buying a like DSLR and doing some shit.
Right.
I almost bought one because there was one for $200 the other day, and I was like, well, I can't get a fucking PlayStation. So
Yep.
Oh,
Tragic.
we'll
man.
get more on that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, in the meantime, what have you been playing that you haven't been able to play on your PlayStation 5, Tim?
Let's see. Earlier in the week, I played a little bit of Genshin Impact, and
You did. Oh
outside
yeah, you did post that in the chat.
outside of that, I played some Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
What
throwing
year
it
is
back.
this? I mean, you
I
can't
mean,
knock it.
Alpha Centauri is one of the best. I don't care who you are. It's one of the best turn-based strategy games ever.
Absolutely.
If Sid Meier's Beyond Earth had been Alpha Centauri 2, it would have sold like hotcakes and not been a total disaster. Well, it probably still would have been a total disaster, but damn it, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty much it for me. And Genshin was
What level did you get to?
I maxed out my character's level because they kept giving me shit, and I
Yeah.
also got apparently
well, what was your
um,
adventure level? Because that's really like your true level.
I think I got to like 9.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So you put a couple hours into it.
Yeah, and I have several of the main characters in the story unlocked. I also did a couple of the I forget what they're called. The like basically loot boxes, but not loot boxes.
Yeah.
And apparently some of the characters I got are very coveted. Yeah,
Did
like
you
I
get the
saw
little
people.
Keely girl,
The what?
little fire girl, little midget.
No, I got the chick with the mace.
I haven't even
Or
seen
I
her.
guess she has a buster sword. I can't remember her
The
name.
maid?
Like
Noelle.
yeah, I got Noelle, and then I got a witch
Lisa.
lady. I don't know. No, not Lisa.
The electric.
No, it starts with an N. There's an
Oh, I
H
don't
in it
know.
and shit. I don't know how I say it, but apparently like
Nilisa.
there. No, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know all their names or anything. I'm
Yeah,
not
they
sure.
actually already have a shit ton of characters.
I want to say it's like
Mhm.
Ni Huang or some shit like that. Like it's definitely
Oh,
a.
I think that's from the second wave of characters.
Yeah, and like there was
Is it
I
tiny?
actually saw a bunch of people on Twitter being like, I need to get this character, and I was like, I got her in like my first like 15 minutes, and like it's cool, but
That's so
I don't know.
funny.
Well, I guess the question is she a 5-star? Because that's when they're coveted.
Right.
Yeah,
Because they have
you
like
can get
lower star versions, right?
right. Yeah.
I
You can
think
get 3-star and 4-star.
the ones
Mhm.
I have, the ones I got are both 4 stars. But like
Probably.
I don't know, I played it a bit. It was cool, but like I don't think I'll ever finish that game. I think that's a game that I'll like fuck around with from time to time when I'm actually in an
Well,
anime mood, which is very rare.
There's no finishing it though. That's gonna be the problem. It's
Oh,
more
is it
one of those
live
things.
service?
Yes, they like the character you just mentioned. I don't think she was part of the original game. Like they're already kind of in like a pseudo season 2 thing
Hmm.
or whatever, and it's just kind of. And I haven't played it in a couple weeks because there's just been other stuff going on. I've been playing, and I was playing Spellforce, and then for those of you who saw, we did the unboxing video for the Series X, and I've been obviously playing the shit out of that.
Ooh, yeah.
I should be video
Yeah.
editing, but I've been playing the shit out of that. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what's going on. But before we start talking about the Series X and stuff like that, Justin, what have you been playing?
Oh, I've just been playing Dark Souls 3. One of my buddies who's been playing through Dark Souls from the first one recently beat the second one. So now he's finally gotten to Dark Souls 3. And I couldn't play Dark Souls 2 with him because I had the old 32-bit version and he had the 64-bit version. So I was just patiently waiting for him to get to this point. And now that he's here, I can play my stupid, incredibly high endurance character and swing my great club 5 times and kill people. It's great.
I was watching somebody, like a group of people that used to work for Rooster Teeth, get drunk and play fucking Demon Souls
Oh man.
or whatever last night, and that's what they did. They made some crazy girl looking girl thing or whatever, and they just had a club and a shield, dude, and they were just running around just clubbing skeletons
Yep.
and shit.
That's the best way to start.
That's
Deprived.
definitely a Dark Souls meta.
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I just liked those folks. It was nice to have on while I was playing other stuff or whatever, you know,
Mhm.
good background noise. So
Demon Souls is one of those games that, as an Xbox gamer, I never have gotten to experience. Xbox and PC, I should say.
Yeah.
So like,
I know, dude. I know. I feel the same way, man. I never played Demon Souls. I saw, like, I watched Holmes play a little bit of it at his place here and there, but I didn't get into Souls until Dark Souls. So I'm in the same boat as you. Like, hopefully PC eventually.
it's not backwards compatible on PlayStation 4
I don't think so.
because you got a PlayStation, right, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it is not.
Oh, Tim's like, I would have bought a PlayStation 4 already if it was. At least I can find them.
Oh man.
Tim, let's just jump to that. Let's get it out of the way, okay?
Yeah.
I already said.
Talk
Like,
about your
I
struggles.
said most of what I need to say about it in the article I wrote earlier today. But I spent, instead of playing games, I spent a good majority of my week trying to secure an Xbox Series X and trying to secure a PS5. I wasn't going to get both. I wanted one, and Series X came out first. I was like, okay. I actually had a chance to get a Series S in Walmart, which I almost did, but I was like, I really want the X. I don't really want the S. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the S is like a secondary box that I would buy for my kid to play Minecraft on while I'm trying to play Cyberpunk on my X. Like, that's really what that is. Wasn't able to do that. Every time any stock would go live, the sites would get overwhelmed by bots and sell out right away, and I was mostly trying to do it while working, so I could not go to a physical store. You didn't have that option with PlayStation. And PlayStation, again, every time stock would be live somewhere, it would be instantly out. Even today I got actually a notification from, I think it was Walmart. I can't remember if it was Walmart or one of the other sites.
Yep, I saw your tweet.
Yeah, so Walmart sent me a notification. Hey, the Series X is in stock. I clicked the link. It's out of stock. And it wasn't like oh, they sent me an email 10 minutes ago. It was like I'm on Twitter scrolling through. Ooh, boom, out of stock. Fuck
No.
me. Like, I can't even so I actually know, I think I counted it up earlier. I know in total 4 people that were able to secure, and Cody, you're one of them. Not including like people that I kind of know through Twitter, but like I actually know 4 people who were able to secure a new console. And I know a hell of a lot more than 4 people that were trying to get one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you guys are curious about my thoughts on it more, you can check out ourlifeinpixels.com. There's an article up there. But needless to say, scalpers are flipping them, and there's a PlayStation 5 that at the time I wrote that article this morning was listed for $32,000. I'm going to say that one more time, a little bit louder. $32,000.
Is that all?
MSRP on that motherfucker is $500. So if anybody pays $32,000, officially,
Hold on. Was it the disc version or discless?
It was the disc version, I believe.
Okay, because if it was a discless, it would be the 400 on the MSRP.
Yeah, it would.
I'm just saying.
Would be even
I
worse of a deal.
I didn't bother looking at the disc list. I didn't bother looking at the Series S. I only went with, like, I didn't do in my article. I didn't check the full stack of AMD CPUs. I only looked at the lowest end.
Right.
And I was like, that's still double the price of what it retails at.
Random question, and this is like an aesthetic thing for you guys, or well, just kind of in general. But does the size of the PlayStation, is that like a negative or a turn off for y'all? Because
unevenness of it is.
Well, I've heard, and just, you know, listening to different reviews and stuff like that, is that this thing is not going to fit in your normal entertainment center if you have one, kind of thing. And you've already seen, like, you know, hearing about PlayStations and stuff overheating while being on displays and stuff in Best Buy and things like that. So obviously you need a lot of ventilation to begin with. So, like, I don't know. I mean, this isn't really like a negative thing. I'm not trying to dig. This is more just like a curiosity thing.
Yeah, looking at it, I feel like the way my TV is set up, it would barely be okay to be like
Right.
where my PS4 is right now, because if it was any further to the side, it would be in the way of my television because it's set low. So that would fucking suck. And also, like you talked about the overheating, like once my PS4 is on for 5 minutes, it's like a jet engine. So, I mean, hopefully the PS5 isn't like that, but
Right.
we'll see.
Right.
Yeah, for me, I think like I've got a big entertainment center. Like it has
Right.
speakers and everything. Like it's fine. Like I would fit either of them pretty easily. But like let's say I wanted to keep one down here at my desk. That
He's
might be a
looking.
bit of a
I see you
problem.
looking around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say for my Series X, I couldn't fit it standing up in my entertainment center. If I wanted to lay it down, I could. But as I said in the video review, I don't want to lay that
It
thing down.
needs to
Like I really
stand.
don't. So you know what I actually just did like an hour ago? I actually had this epiphany while I was in the shower because of course that's when you have epiphanies, right? I'd had it like in the video where it was like on the right hand corner in front of my TV type thing, and then I was like, I have my TV pushed all the way back. What if I just move that forward and put the Xbox behind it? So I
As
did
long as you
that.
don't need the disc,
Yeah.
then yeah.
I mean, yeah, for the most part, I won't need discs and stuff like that. I did just for because all right, we're just gonna jump into this.
Let's get into it.
Because we're already talking about it. So start from square one. Been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed. Um, been trying out some different things. Biggest negative, and this isn't even an issue with the Series X. Call of Duty, the new one, crashes the whole console.
Really?
It's happened to me twice. It just happened 30 minutes before the show started, right? And it happened to me last night.
What
So
kind
that
of
is
crash?
like a whole crash. Like turned off the console. Didn't even reboot the console. Just
Oh,
turned the
wow.
whole console off.
Is it overheating or is it like
Nope.
hard
Nope.
locking?
It does that thing where when you're like computer or something, it'll be like doing something and then it stops and then it goes and
Oh,
then,
no.
yeah, dude. Yeah. And I even caught it before the
Yikes.
second time. I was
Mhm.
in the middle of a game the second time and it froze. I immediately hit the home button, went home, crashed the application, right? And it still crashed the Xbox.
Wow.
So, new Call of Duty is not optimized
Yikes.
at all. Not
Shocker
even a
on
little bit. Right. So,
Hmm.
so there's that. Also, only reason I got the new Call of Duty, I told you guys about this. Air Force is actually starting to have a pro level league.
Oh,
esports.
really?
Right, for esports, right. So they
Hey.
put this out the other
That's how
day.
you attract the young kids these days.
Well, it is. But
Wow.
it's also I'm an old head who's been playing shooters since I was, 13,
Ooh, yeah.
13, 12, whatever.
Yep.
Some
Head, he said.
yeah.
Old head.
Well, I mean, in the
Old
realm of
head.
the Air Force, I'm being almost 30 is like you're fucking 80.
Yeah.
That's
Called
just what it
himself
is. So,
Old head.
but anyway, so I saw that and I was like, well, I might not be the most reflexive or Twitch reactive shooter, but I got experience on my
You could
side.
be a
all right?
coach, man.
So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna play with I play with some of my younger airmen. I was actually trying to play Call of Duty with one of my younger airmen who's TDY right now. And then all this nonsense was going on. So Call of Duty, not optimized. I wouldn't suggest that for at least the Series X. Obviously, I haven't played on the PlayStation 5.
Mm.
I've played a lot of Assassin's Creed. I've probably already put like 15 hours in that game.
How's it run, man?
Fucking amazing. There's no hiccups. I will say every once in a while, and then when I say every once in a while, I've seen this maybe twice, maybe 3 times, something like that. But every once in a while when you've got like that, yeah, it's just like when you have like VSync going, and you'll see like the line go up the screen
Mm-hmm.
type thing. I've seen that a couple times. Never in game, like while I'm actively playing. It's more during like cutscenes and stuff like that. But Assassin's Creed runs great. I will say I've played Madden on there, Madden 20. The load times are fucking crazy. Like the load time to advance a week in Madden would normally take anywhere from like a minute, 2 minutes, something like that on a 1X, right? And then I got the Series X. It's literally maybe 15 seconds.
Nice.
And it just whoop. And I really want to do a load time comparison.
Let's put that in perspective because not a lot of people know what simulating that means. That means every game on the schedule in the NFL that week, the game simulates. It doesn't just
Right.
like it's not like it just like randomly picks numbers and goes. No, it literally does a full simulation of each game in its back end. So it's doing that 16 times in about 15 seconds.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
game a
crazy.
Impressive.
second.
It,
It's a
right.
game a
It's
second.
no joke. It's insane. So something I've been wanting to do, and I've kind of started doing this. I gotta download the games is the problem. I want to download Red Dead on my One X and get it on my One S or my Series S or Series
Better
X.
spend that
Fuck.
200 on that
These
game.
names.
Right. And so because I already own that, right? And I just want to like do a load time comparison. Like, hey, here's Red Dead Redemption on my
They
One
should have
X.
just called it a 720.
It'd be easier. But anyways, yeah, I would like to do something like that. But yeah, Assassin's Creed overall though runs great. I have a lot of fun with it. I have different gripes with the game itself, right? But when it comes from the system, I do not hear a fucking sound out of that thing.
Nice.
Other than when I turn it on. After that, it's literally just a black box and it's just sitting there. You don't get like the jet engine noises that you sometimes get with PlayStation and stuff like that, or even the One X. Like every once in a while, I'll hear, you know what I mean, it just be booting up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what the hell? So,
Like, calm down.
but yeah,
Speaking of the fans, Cody, do you own ping pong balls at all?
I do not, but I did have people asking me about this.
Real.
So
Yeah, haven't you
I've
seen
heard
that?
it's been debunked. I'm not sure though.
Really?
I've heard it's been debunked, but it wouldn't
I
surprise me
doubt
though.
it.
It wouldn't surprise me though if it does work because
Yeah,
like,
they're very light in the way it's shaped, you know?
right. And well, and the other thing is if you see those vaping videos that people did to show
God.
that their Xbox was smoking,
Right.
right?
Oh no.
It proves that the ventilation works great.
Irony. The fucking irony, by the way. Bunch of PlayStation fanboys are like, look at the Xbox smoking, and it's probably people who bought both. Honestly, like it's people who were able to get their hands on both, or people who just thought it would be funny, right? Like I got an Xbox and it's smoking because they think they're hilarious. Not fucking funny. They do that, and now PlayStations actually are reported to be overheated and shutting down from heat.
Right. Yes. Which is funny because when they did the PlayStation like breakdown, like 85% of it's a fucking heat sink.
It's a big ass heat sink.
Yeah.
Oh,
big heat sink.
Monstrous.
Not as big of a fan.
Right.
Xbox, that fan looks nice, dude.
It made me think of, there's a meme of like it's a hand with a it says not a huge fan, it's a hand with a little tiny fan in it.
Oh my god.
That's what it made me think of. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no. I mean, I see you have in here Tim had mentioned this. And I didn't even think about it when I did the unboxing video, but no power brick.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that at all.
Like the power brick on every Xbox I've ever owned is fucking massive.
The size of an actual brick.
Yeah, even like I
don't
buy
have one, I don't think. And neither does the One S.
The Xbox One did. I don't know about the One S or the One
One S and One X did not. But the the original Xbox One, yes, it did.
And that's what I have right here. It's just
and maybe that's why I didn't think it. Yeah, maybe that's why I didn't think of.
But like even my laptop upstairs has a big ass power brick.
Right.
And then I'm looking at that Series X. I'm like, huh?
And it's just a normal fucking power cord.
It's just a fucking computer. Like,
an elegant computer.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting. I don't mean to sidetrack us, but I think it's funny how different aesthetically that the Xbox and the PlayStation went this time around, because last generation they were both black boxes.
Yeah.
Kind of discreet, you could tuck them away, they blended in well with your console, low profile, right? Like if you didn't know better, you'd think it was just a fancy Blu-ray player or something. They were both very much trying to look like media consoles. This time, the Xbox like doubled down on that. Like you could use this thing to hold a plant, and nobody would think twice about it. It's a fucking end table. But the PlayStation is like, hey, I mean, it looks like Alienware made it. It's it legit looks like an homage to Alienware in a lot of ways. It's interesting how divergent they went with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go ahead, Justin.
The Xbox looks way better.
I agree.
I tend to agree. I think the PlayStation, if it was black and had flat panels, it didn't go for that weird curvy look, wasn't trying to look sexual at all. It would do itself a lot of favors. So I think third party panels are going to be a big thing.
Well, Tim, if you don't remember me telling you, we didn't talk about this on the podcast, but there was a company that was trying to sell third party panels and they got shut down by Sony.
I actually do
They
remember
got
you
it.
telling me
Oof.
that, and that's why I
Yeah.
said it. So that you
Oh,
would
okay.
give
I
me
didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was a layup.
Grunty!
I didn't know if it was a
Hey!
layup or what. But yeah, there was a company that was trying to do third party faceplates where you could get whatever you want on them, and stuff
Naturally.
like that. And Sony went, "The fuck do you think you're doing?" Because obviously they want to do that first before
Yeah.
other companies do. I don't, but yeah, they pulled a Nintendo for sure.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it seems like the PlayStation went with like a statement. You know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna know if you got a fucking PlayStation in your house, right?
Gamers.
Right. You know what I mean? And the Xbox did not. The Xbox is still very. It's just a sleek design. I do like it.
Yeah,
I
I really like the just hint of green in the vent for the fan. I think that that little
I do-
detail is very nice.
I do wish there was it was an LED instead of being painted.
I'm glad it's
Hmm.
not.
I'm not talking about something crazy, you know what I mean? But just a tiny LED because you
how
can't
bright these
see
LEDs are.
right, but you
I'm
can't
blurry as
see the
hell.
green
My
at
camera's
every
drunk.
angle.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is strong. You can't see the green at every angle. Like I was trying to just show it when I videotaped it with my phone and also on when I was doing the unboxing, and there's really only a certain angle you can see it at.
Mhm.
So that's the only reason why I wish it was LED. Other than that, or if it was more, I just wish it was a little bit more distinct than it is. It's more, it's almost hidden.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there is an Easter egg in these things in the One X or the
Seen that.
Series X. Somebody took the backplate off of the Series X, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's a
IGN,
fucking
yeah.
there's the Master Chief
Yeah.
head symbol or whatever in there, and I was like, oh, that's
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah,
I
This
will
is kind of
Xbox
fun.
DNA.
Yeah.
In the unboxing video, you were like, I love that Master Chief is on the box. And I would if Infinite was watching. But there's no Halo game with this. It's not like you can download Halo
Yeah.
Infinite. So like
Yeah,
I
get
would,
that.
but I
All
don't.
right, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Right. Let me
Alright,
hit this other thing
alright.
in the show notes first. Right. So the controller is in here. Right. I like the controller. It's good. It's a good old Xbox controller. I will say everything I've been hearing about PlayStation and their haptic feedback and how it's actually getting utilized makes me jealous. I would love to have something like that in the Xbox controller. My
The
only
Elite
question is
3
going to be right. Like I fully expect like from the sounds of it, right? Because everybody is saying that the controller is kind of the differential thing right now, right?
The real game changer.
Right, between the Xbox and PlayStation, the new ones, right? Like obviously you have Miles Morales, but you want to know what? I'm not paying $60 to $70 for 7 to 10 hours of gameplay. That's a fucking expansion. They can get fucked with that shit. I don't care how good the game is. That's just a personal thing though. And then you got a remastered game, right? Which looks amazing. Don't get me wrong, I want to play it, but I'm also not paying $70 for a remastered game. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say if you pay I think
60 to
I think
70, whatever it is.
Well, I think it's $49.99 for just Miles Morales without the remaster.
That's still $50 for an
It's
expansion.
still that's a full price game.
Yeah, right. Like that's insane to me. Like I just don't care. That should be $20.
Yeah, I was honestly
max.
shocked to see that at a full price point.
It's a cash grab. Which another cash grab. I saw this. I shared this on the old Twitter earlier. If you buy a second controller, the second DualSense controller, it doesn't come with a charging cord. And I'm just like,
that doesn't bug me that much because
it does bug me because there's no right now. There's no like stations or anything that you can buy to just charge your controllers or anything like that. I don't think there is for the DualSense.
Yeah, there are DualSense charging stations that are available. You can actually buy those right now. Yes.
No, I haven't.
You can buy those via Best Buy, Walmart. Like those are in the wild. Those are still available. Like there's plenty of those. You can buy those. So if you're buying a second controller, yes, invest in that. Don't be dumb. Or two, just get a fucking USB-C cable. Like,
Oh yeah, there
if
is.
it bugs you that much, it's just USB-C. Your phone charger cord will work. Keemstar can fuck off. Like, I don't give a fuck. I saw you share. That was what you shared was Keemstar, right? Pretty sure
I don't know who
you
that would be.
retweeted. It was fucking Keemstar. He can fuck off. Like, he's a drama queen
I
about
don't know.
everything.
I don't know, dude. For
It-
70, he says he paid $75 for that controller. I'd be mad too to not have a charging cord.
Honestly, I think
$75?
that's kind of the way of the future now. It's like if it's not necessary to its function, like the 3DSs aren't sold with a power cable anymore. That's something Nintendo did.
Yeah,
if you have
and
an,
nobody
if you
liked
have an
that either, though.
Android phone, you have a USB-C.
It's a lot
cable.
less waste.
If you have an Android phone that's come out in the last 3 years, you have a USB-C cable.
Yeah, it's
right,
like
but
it's
but
not
that's
as
for
bad.
my
least-
phone. That's for my
Okay.
phone though. That's not for my controller. Like that's the
I don't
point.
know. I just it
Yes,
doesn't.
you already
it doesn't-
probably have a cord, right, that you can reutilize for this controller, right? But why am I having to reutilize or go out and buy separately something to make the controller function? It doesn't have batteries. It's not like I already got batteries at the house because it's only a rechargeable.
Thank
controller.
you Xbox for that, by the way, because the new Xbox controllers are still battery powered.
Yes, they are. So I know, and I know
Ooh.
people
You
take
can charge those.
right.
And are those USB-C as well, or are those still micro USB?
I believe it's USB-C, but let me just grab my
Because the Xbox One controllers, all Xbox One controllers are micro USB for their charge port, new and old. But the Xbox Series controllers might be USB.
It's USB-C. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
USB-C.
So that's really nice to me. I think USB-C
Right, like,
is
I'm not
so-
saying-
so much sturdier. Like I
Right.
hate my.
I'm not
micro USB
saying that
breaks
the-
all the time.
I'm not saying that the upgrade and everything is bad, but I'm just saying I can't, like, for DualSense specifically, I cannot work it without charging it. So why doesn't it come with a charging cable? Right?
Well, how long
You
is
know,
the battery life?
Well, I don't know. And
I think that's
I'd
a
have
big
to look-
factor.
I'd have
I've
to look it up
heard-
too. Well, out
I've
of the
heard
box, it's
it's-
not going to be fully charged anyways.
Well, yeah, but I
I-
mean, you're gonna have a cable with the console, right?
Right? Yeah, you will have a cable at least.
A
right?
cable comes
I
with
would
the console,
fucking.
so, like-
I would fucking hope so. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Like,
$500.
I don't know. Like, how often are you actually doing couch gaming these days as well? Like, how often do you actually have somebody there using that second controller? To me, if you keep one controller,
I think the
spare
people that are
or s-
buying the second controllers are doing so for couch gaming specifically. Otherwise, you don't. What's the
Well,
point
yeah.
of the second controller, right?
they might be buying it for couch gaming, but what I'm saying is it's a quarantine. How often are you actually couch gaming?
Bro, nobody pay. Look, it is quarantine, but not as many people are supposed to be quarantined as probably should. We all know this.
Obviously, yeah.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
So let's not act like people are actually following that. I don't know. It's just it does bug me, especially if the price. So you were right. There is a charging station, which is a better solution. But a DualSense. I'm just looking this up because I don't know.
I don't think charging stations have
$30.
ever come with like you.
No,
it's never,
no, they haven't. But I'm totally cool with
I
buying
think
that separately.
I think that is something that maybe not comes with a separate second controller. Like, I don't think you should be forced to buy a $75 controller and a $30 charging station together.
Right.
But I do think maybe they should include one with the console.
What, the charging station?
Mhm.
I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying
It
to-
would be a nice to. It's not like oh how dare they, but I don't think it's
Okay,
ever
yeah.
been
So
done.
so with tax, yeah, the controller comes out to probably $75. So $70 for the controller.
Hmm.
So that's my problem. But anyways, I went on a different tirade that I didn't really mean to go on. Right?
Yeah.
We always
Um,
do that.
I know. But yeah, the controller for the Xbox it's good. It's sturdy. It's the same thing you used to know. I've messed around with the share button a little bit.
Hmm.
It's basically just a faster version of what you can do through the menus, right? So you can set it up. So like on the One X, if you wanted to record something, you'd go into the menu real quick and you'd go record the last minute, and then it would take that clip, and then upload it, and then you could do whatever the fuck you wanted with it from there. This is basically you can go into your settings and set up how long you want these clips to be snapped and this, that, and the other thing. And you can, if you hold it, you'll do a video clip. If you just press it, It's basically the share button from the PlayStation 4.
Right.
Is
It's
what
like
it is.
It's like talking to Cortana through your Xbox as well.
Kind of, yeah.
Who
So,
uses Cortana?
No one,
Yeah.
but like you have that option. Like
Right,
honestly,
you
if
do.
you have a mic connected and you say, "Hey, Cortana, clip that,"
Yeah. Yeah, so
Cortana will
it's
clip it.
just I don't know, like I said,
It was
it's
Hey Xbox at the beginning, but did they change that to Hey Cortana, right? When they introduced
I
Cortana
think
on
they
Windows
did.
10?
Yeah.
Am I
Either
crazy?
that or it was the other way around. One
Yeah.
of the two. But anyways, overall I do really like the controller. It's an Xbox controller, right? They definitely went with the if this ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Idea. So yeah, it's just an Xbox controller. Like there's nothing fancy about it. The share button's cool. I wouldn't there's nothing there's just nothing
If you
exciting
like
about it.
this,
Mhm.
you'll like that.
Hopefully, we'll
Right.
see a something from Elite 3 that can match some of the stuff PlayStation is doing.
I
See, the
hope
thing
it's
I
not even actually an Elite 3. I'm hoping it's just like a, hey, here's a revised Xbox controller for the same price as an Xbox controller with all the features.
Could be.
I
But like,
think
yeah, it'll probably be an Elite first.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I think it'll end up being Elite 3 or whatever it is first, and then it will jump. I will say I have been missing my paddles, right?
Yeah.
Especially when I did get to play a couple of games of Call of Duty before it made my console crash. I used to use those for my kill streaks and stuff all the time, right?
Mhm.
I'd be hitting the paddles instead of the D-pad, so I did miss that. But yeah, I mean the controller isn't spectacular. It's the same old, but I mean it's tried and true type thing. So
Are the older controllers compatible with the Series X?
oh yeah. Oh
Have
yeah.
you used
Yeah, I
those
can
at
use
all?
all my controllers. I haven't tried them
Okay.
because I've been trying to get a lot of playtime with this to see how I feel about it. Because you guys saw how surprised I was in the video. I was like,
Yeah.
this bitch is small.
Yeah, you
Like-
look very shocked.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like
So my understanding is all Xbox One controllers
yes.
will work with the Xbox Series X, and that includes like your Logitech, wheels, your joysticks, like
Right.
all that. All Xbox One accessories will work with the Series X.
Nice.
Xbox 360 accessories will not. So even
Right.
USB Xbox 360 controllers still don't work with it, just like they didn't work with the Xbox One. They all work
Yeah.
on PC.
That's true. It's true. Tim prefers the 360 controller.
I actually do.
It's a
Yeah,
good
he's saying
controller,
that.
man.
You know what it was? You know what it always was for me? So, and this is actually slightly different on my Bluetooth Xbox controller that I have upstairs, the one that was made for the Series X and S, and not the original Xbox One controllers. The handles on this, they don't look pointy, but they're pointier than the 360. The 360 had the rounder ones that kind of ergonomically went out into your palm a little bit more. They sort of brought that back in the later iterations of controllers. So I like that controller more. Plus that one, kind of like the new controllers, has more of a textured grip, whereas this is like smooth as hell, and like it's kind of not great to grip onto.
Yeah.
That one is like, it has a nice texture to it.
So, yeah, controller, good. Old controllers, in Tim's opinion, are better. So,
I don't know. I haven't had my hands on this one, and I won't until next year.
There's nothing different. I'm 100%. The only thing that's different on this compared to a normal Xbox One controller is there's different grip. There's grip on the triggers, right, that you can feel, and there's grip on the handles.
I can actually hear the grip in your hands. See, like when I'm doing this, you can't hear.
You could really hear it right here.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You're
That's
sawing.
like that's what I'm saying. That's like sandpaper, right? Like it's got that grip texture. That's
but it
what my
doesn't
one
bother me
upstairs
at all.
has,
It doesn't.
which
It's
I really like.
comfortable.
So yeah, it's definitely comfortable. I've played, like I said, I've put close to 15 hours into Assassin's Creed, like easy. And it's been I will say Assassin's Creed has been a fun experience. I just real quick I wanted to hit on before we moved on to something else here. So Assassin's Creed, it's beautiful. It runs great on the Series X. You can literally climb anything. You want to climb every mountain in Norway, in the tutorial area of Norway, which I spent 6 hours in by itself, or about that. Go right ahead. There's no, I've run into no limits on what the fuck I can climb. I actually hit the ceiling. I don't remember hitting the ceiling in Odyssey. is kind of is maybe what it is. But I for real like it went, hey, area not accessible, and I could see, if you've seen the Hunger Games, like the little
Yeah,
like
the
bubble, like the clear
artifact. Yeah.
bubble shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it had. I was like, oh shit. I was looking for something, and that's why I ended up climbing that high. But anyways, so yeah, being able to climb everything is nice. The combat is okay. It's not. I probably like Odyssey's better overall. They did this weird thing where they just made you slow. All the animations are just slow,
Mm.
at least with the weapons I've used so far, right? So, and honestly, every game I play from now until the end of time is going to be compared to Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
because that combat is exactly what you want in every fucking game. You want it to be skill based, and the better you are at it, the faster it goes. So some of these sequences in like Ghost of Tsushima are fucking crazy, and they're so much fun. You do not get that at all in Assassin's Creed.
Mm.
It's definitely it is a little bit of a timing game, right? But the AI is dumb, so it's not super hard. You can dodge around and fucking get behind them and beat them, whatever. I will say what they've done, they did something really cool. There's a skill you can unlock in the skill tree where you can on the fly switch your primary weapon.
Hmm.
So if you have a sword and a shield, you get the skill, and then you can just swap them bitches right in the middle of a fight, and you're just beating the shit out of people with your shield as your main weapon instead of the axe.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
fun. Yeah, it's fun. They did, and I've heard I don't have a whole
Dual
lot of weapons
shields.
yet. So I could dual shield actually because I just
Yeah,
got a
that's a
second
thing.
shield.
Dude.
Yeah, I kind of want to do it, but
I love
I
that.
haven't tried it out yet.
Turtle
I will
up.
say, um, the thing I'm probably enjoying about this game the most right now is the fact that it's not trying to be a looter slasher like Odyssey was. Coming by gear and finding gear is I just found some,
It's
and like I've
meaningful.
been right, like it actually means something. When you upgrade something, it's because you want to use it, and when you upgrade it,
Cool.
you get aesthetic changes, and then you can imbue runes, which I think is still something you could do in Odyssey, right? But that's cool. You couldn't do that. I can't remember.
No, you could upgrade gear, but honestly, once you started getting gear sets, you kind of
Right,
were done with upgrading most gear. You were just upgrading the level of gear for the most part.
right.
Mm.
You could there wasn't like a rune system in there where you could add new
Okay, so there's
stuff.
a rune system in this, right, where you can add runes to your weapons and your armor and stuff like that. Um, that's fun to play around with. I've always been kind of a fan of that. That's kind of like a Diablo-esque type thing that I remember. Um, but yeah, like there's a lot of here's the thing about this game. There's a lot of really good ideas.
Mhm.
And because the game is so massive and because there's so many ideas, they're all half fleshed out. So one of my biggest issues with the game is rating, right? It doesn't feel meaningful at all. Like in the process of rating, I don't I want to feel like a badass Viking, and the opening for the rating is cool. Like you just ram your boat right on shore. You're sounding the horn. Your guys are jumping off the boats and they're running, and then the AI for the wherever you're rating is just standing there. It might just be one or two guys. They're not reacting. You get up to them, you start beating the shit out of
Oh
them,
no.
and they're still like, "Arr!" You know what I mean? Like they don't know what they're doing, and then so that takes away from it a little bit. And then you get in there, and when you raid these places, because you can't raid everywhere, right? But they're on the map of where you can raid. They got these axes over them and stuff. And there's not like some like almost mini boss or something that you can fight at some of these, at least not that I've encountered. It's literally you get in there, you kill a bunch of people. You can't kill civilians, which is stupid. Like they took that out. Like, you know
Weird.
what I mean? You're over here chopping off heads, but you can't kill a civilian. Like, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
We
And
know
you
who
go,
cares.
Yeah.
well, yeah, obviously, but you go in there and then you raid some, or you open up these chests, and then once you find all the chests in that area, that's when the raid's over.
Hmm.
So there's no like there's like it's nice to do because doing those raids is how you get your uh resources to build up your like settlement, right? So like there's an end goal, there's a point to it, but just the pure act of raiding which should be one of the most fun parts of the game because you are a Viking, just feels empty and is super disappointing, right? Like it's just like, God damn it, guys.
Less
Like I
talking,
don't
more rating.
right. Like I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what it is about it. If the AI was smarter, I think it would be more fun. Like if the
Yeah.
AI was like, oh shit, and they actually tried to like come at you, it would probably be more entertaining because all of a sudden you'd have this clash of bodies and you'd be fighting and stuff. But you're normally just fighting onesie, twosies. You might fight up to like a group of 5, but it's nothing crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's one of those spots in the game that it really kind of misses the mark and it kind of takes you out of the immersion of just being a Viking. And so I was kind of disappointed in that.
I hate
whole
that you
aspect
didn't
of
get
it.
his warband reference.
I didn't.
Let's
I
talk
didn't.
Tragic.
more raiding.
I didn't. I'm just in my flow. You know what I mean?
I know.
But you know what? I do find myself thinking about Mountain Blade when I'm playing this.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, man, I was like, if this game had Ghost of Tsushima's combat and Mountain Blade's depth,
Mm.
holy shit!
Mm.
You know what I mean? It'd be a lot of fun. There's also some different things in the game that are really cool.
Did you do
I don't
any of
feel
the
like
gambling?
so it's not gambling,
Okay.
right? It's an actual game, almost like in the like The Witcher for their card game that they
Gwent.
have in there.
And play
Gwent.
Nifltauffel.
It's not Nifltauffel. It's called
I'm
like
out.
Orlog. It's called like Orlog or something like that, and it's
Mhm.
it's an actual game, and it's pretty simple, right? And there's an achievement for defeating all Orlog players in the game, so I try and make sure I find them.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, you get a collectible from each one, right? Or not? I guess I don't know if it counts as a collectible, but it's almost like when we play Gwent or something like that. You beat somebody, they give you a card.
Okay.
In this, you can call on god powers, right? In the match from whatever gods you have selected, you can have up to 3 selected kind of thing. And if you beat another Orlog player, you get one of their gods. It's like,
Oh.
and you don't really get to choose; you just get one, right? But then you can use it for future fights. There's drinking games in there, which is pretty nice. It's just a little quick time event where you're just making sure you're hitting A
Mm.
when it gets in the circle, right? But then like once you're in your second horn, you'll start stumbling, so you got to like hit left stick left or right to like stay upright and stuff like that so you don't fall over. The flighting is cool. Not I mean there's only you can't go super in depth with like a rap battle, right? Because you're choosing from pre-made options and stuff like that.
Right.
So like they'll have like multiple lines and then you just get to like answer it with like a single line.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
you're just trying to like insult them, but you're trying to stay in line with whatever it is. So like
Yeah.
if they're like, I'm gonna poke you in the face, and you're like, I'm gonna chop off your fucking head, then that's a no-go. Like you're not supposed to do
Not
that, right?
popular.
Yeah. So so there's stuff like that. And the more flighting matches that you win, it ups your charisma, which if your charisma is high enough, it'll give you different dialogue options at certain points in the game, which is nice. I've seen that once already. It doesn't happen a lot, but it is something. It's just a cool little thing. But like I said, there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of cool stuff in the game. Like there's cursed areas, and you got to like find the cursed item and destroy it. And I saw some fucked up shit today where like I went in a cave, like a mining cave or whatever, and the cursed item was in there. I killed and I destroyed the cursed item, and then like I could really see what was in the room because when you're in a cursed area, it has like ravens popping up all over your screen and disorients you and stuff like that until you destroy the cursed item. And I was in this room and this freaking cow or whatever was like gutted in the middle of the floor, and there's an effigy that was on fire, and just like this crazy looking stand that was in the middle of the room that was like it looked like something out of Warhammer or whatever, you know what I mean, to like the dark gods. I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Like
Bad
so that
stuff.
was cool. Like yeah, there's little cool things. There's little cool side missions. Like I just fought this guy today who had this like was called the Walloper, and he would knock you out with one punch. Basically, is what it was.
He would wallop
He was one punch man, is what he was. And so you had to beat him without him ever hitting you. Basically, it was boiled down to. It's just cool little stuff like that. So there's plenty of stuff to do in the game. I'm still enjoying the game, but it if you like Odyssey, you're gonna like it. It's just because it is a lot of the same stuff. The settlement system is cool, but once again, just like I felt with Odyssey, I was like, man, I wish they could just flesh out all these ideas that they have. I
Mhm.
really think a whole another year in development would have done that game a lot of good. You know, as great as it looks and stuff like that, if they could have fleshed out those, because they have the assassination tree system back from Odyssey. You know, you're killing like some organization or whatever. You got to assassinate all these
Mhm.
people. That's back, but it's like the exact same. I haven't seen any improvements to that system. The mercenary system's gone. Instead, now they have zealots that are hard as fuck so far. Um, the skill tree is cool. If you like Path of Exile, you're gonna like the skill tree. So it's very similar in that aspect.
The skill tree, don't Path of Exile it, because it's not that. I've
I
seen
mean,
it. It's not as in depth. Plus,
I mean, it's not, but
you
it's
can
still it's
respec at
the
any time with no penalty, just like Odyssey. So like,
yeah, you can do that. You can do that, but it's what other skill level system can you compare it to?
Odyssey, because it's
No,
what they
not
did. Yeah,
Odyssey.
what they did is there are more skills, but and it's laid out differently. But if you add it up, if you look at the trees themselves, it's
You
not
can't though,
actually right. But if you were able to, what I'm saying is,
but you can't.
if you had traditional skill trees, you don't. I
Right,
understand that. But
right.
if you were to line up the skills in a traditional skill tree, it would be about equivalent to Odyssey, honestly. Um, it's not.
Have you
It's not
seen it?
PoE.
Have you
Yes.
seen it? Because I
Yes.
need to see it. I mean, yeah, it's not as in depth as PoE because I can't turn into a
Nothing is.
necromancer. You know
Fucking
what I mean?
nothing
Like
is.
I can't turn
That's
into a
why I say it.
necromancer
That's why I
that
say it.
brings fireballs from the.
Yeah.
But
Let's not put
if
that
you're
in
looking
anyone's
at
head.
like the overall skill tree, it's just like Path of Exile.
The way
No,
it's
it's
laid out,
not going to
looks,
be right,
it looks
right.
massive. It's not
It's
actually that big. It's more like,
I think it is that big.
it
I
reminds me of
really do. Just because of how slow. So I told you I put like 15 hours into the game or something like that. Norway, towards the end of it, has a power level of 280. I'm like 40. Like and you get 2 skills every time you level up, which you don't ever see what actual level you are. So you get 2 skill points every time you level up. And I've unlocked quite a few skills at this point. Um I don't know, like it's just it seems like there's still a bunch
So
that I haven't seen.
it doesn't track your level by number.
No, I haven't seen that anywhere.
That's kind of
To be
cool.
fair, I haven't looked either, right? You know what I mean? But you level up and I just go and I apply my skills in whatever way I'm trying to go to like whatever skill I want.
Hmm.
And then I just keep going. I don't really care what level I am, kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. You
Um,
shouldn't. I mean,
right. It's just I look at my power level and it's just kind of like, huh, I'm a weak bitch still. You know what I mean?
you're not on that
So
Norway level.
This seem
no,
random. How's the music in game?
I love it. I love it.
The
I
music in
absolutely
these
love it.
games has always been pretty freaking good.
So it applies. It generally applies correctly. There was a mission. I forgot to bring this up. But there's a lot of things I got to say about Assassin's Creed. So some of the missions are weird too, right? Explain to me. So I understand this probably sounds okay when you first start talking about it out loud, but why am I doing an assassination in the middle of a raid? Like that's a that's like a thing. Like the guy's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have my soldiers distract the Saxons, right? And we're gonna go in and assassinate this priest." All right, that's cool, except for the fact there's no way to get to this monastery except through going through the fight. So, because I ran around in the whole outside of the place, right? Because just like in Ghost of Tsushima or like a Far Cry or anything like that, there's normally like
Right.
that little Y, right? You can kind of get through the wall and shit. Nah, there was none of that. The only way to get to this bitch was to go through where all the fighting was, go over the wall, and where there was guards already waiting. So then you had to fight the guards and then go into the monastery and then kill the priest. And I was like, why is this
That sounds
considered an
amazing.
assassination?
Why are you bitching about it?
I'm bitching because
Oh.
you're supposed to be sneaking. That's the
Well,
whole point.
all I'm saying
They make you put the hood on
More
and
of a
the whole
murder.
thing, right? And they're all like, "You're supposed to go assassinate this guy," and I'm like, "If we're just gonna run in here and kill a bitch, just say that. Don't try and dress it up as something
Literally.
else." You know what I mean? Right. So that was my issue. I was just like, bro, like, because I already did that on my own, assassinating one of the like folks for like the assassination of the order or whatever that's in the game that you're supposed to be killing. I was able to raid the place. I was like, fuck it, let's just raid it. Let's just go in there and I'll just kill him in the process. I'll get some treasure and blah blah blah. Like that, it makes sense. This specific mission, I was like, what is happening? I was just like, why am I, we could have just assaulted the place and it would have just made sense. You know what I mean? I did have the music start playing at one point, like battle music while I was in bushes. Like, and nobody'd seen me. I was like, all right. I'm just gonna hang out until the music stops, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Did
it was
somebody
weird.
notice me?
Yeah, I looked around. Everybody's just chilling. I was just like, I don't know. But the music overall, right? The music overall is really good. I loved running around Norway. The way the snow like parts as you're running through it is so realistic. You know what I mean? Being, you guys still living in Minnesota and having spent a long time in Minnesota myself, I know what snow looks like when you're like trudging through it, and it looks like super realistic. Everything sounds nice, and then the Norwegian music and stuff and whatnot while you're in Norway is super cool.
Does
and
your
then it
crew
kind of
sing while you're sailing places?
yes, and they tell stories,
Oh, I
and
love
you can
that.
choose. You can choose.
Is the singing all
So
original? Or
I should draw that back. They play songs. I haven't heard them actually sing.
Okay.
oh, they
So
sang in Odyssey.
they did sing in Odyssey, but they
great.
sung
That's cool.
sea shanties and stuff like that, right? I think the problem of why they didn't put songs in it is because you're in the rivers of Britain. You're not out on the open ocean. So the time to sail isn't very long,
Sure.
right? So that might have been just kind of like a design choice where like, hey, we'll play music, but they're not going to sing because they're not on the boat. It's not like in Odyssey where you could sail for 10 straight minutes. You know what I mean? Like if you're going, depending on where you're going on the map, and if you haven't been there before, you don't have your synchronization point kind of deal. So it might have been a design decision. I would say the sailing's cool. When you go under bridges and stuff, like they'll bring down the mast.
Oh yeah, I've
and
seen
stuff
that.
like that.
So cool.
I was like, oh, that's cool. You can just follow the river too. Like you can set a waypoint, follow the river, and then it'll do it itself. And you can sit there and you can do your panoramic views and take pictures and shit like that if you want.
Take it all in. Is there a photo mode?
There is a photo mode, and actually, the photo mode pisses me off because to activate the photo mode, it's clicking a left thumbstick and right thumbstick, and sometimes I'm running. And then I'm hitting right thumbstick for something.
Yeah.
What is this is another issue. All right. Anyways, so I hit right thumbstick to do like the insta kill, right? But I don't understand why the name of this this insta kill thing is called like stun target. But it's like once all their defensive abilities have gone away, like they're like staggered on the ground or something like that, you do this and you'll pick up your weapon and then run it through them in some way, shape, or form. Like if you do this to somebody who has a great axe, right? They'll put their hands up to block it. You will slice through both their hands and put it into their neck. Super fucking cool animation. But I don't know why it's called stun target.
Maybe like, you're the one who's stunned by how aggressive you're being.
Yes, and whenever you do that, you'll pick up whatever weapon they have. So I've done it with like a shield where I've picked up a shield and I've just like somebody's like neck, like right into their neck, and their head's popped off. And they got one where if it's a hand axe, you'll take the hand axe, you'll like undercut it into their face, and then you'll take your foot and stomp their face into the ground and stuff like that. Like the kill animations are pretty cool,
wonderfully violent.
Right, they are very violent, but they're fun. So like I've done, especially that hand axe one. When you're in Norway, you're fighting other like Vikings and stuff like that. So I did that a lot. And I never got sick of it. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but overall, I'm enjoying my time with Assassin's Creed, but there's obviously issues with it. I've only been taken out of the Animus once, which is something totally different. I don't understand. I have no idea what's going on in the story. Apparently, the magnetic force of Earth's fields has increased by like 500 times or some crazy ass number, and like shit's happening in the real world, and apparently Eivor is like a key to fixing it all. And I'm like, I don't
Do you
what?
care about any of the Animus stuff, or do you? I feel like some people almost wish that they would just drop all that and just focus on historical whatever.
I,
I
I'm gonna
100%
look.
wish they would
I'm
do
gonna
that.
look at the. I'm gonna look at the dude below me because he's already
I'm in
said
that
that.
camp. I said that the other day. I was like, I haven't played Origins. Odyssey would have been better without the Animus.
Yes.
My least favorite part of Odyssey was getting pulled out of playing as Cassandra or Alexios, and having to do this bullshit puzzle mission as
Whoever.
forgetful modern character, forgettable modern character. Like I'm sure it's a fascinating story if you read more into the lore. I don't care. Like the last actual modern assassin I cared about was
Desmond.
Desmond. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Speaking of Desmond, there's an audio clip of his in that you want to listen to because it's
Okay.
very interesting. It's just, like I'm not even super into the story, but I was just looking at stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna jump back into the Animus, and then it was like an audio clip where they were talking to Desmond. I was like, the fuck? I was like, because the last Assassin's Creed game where I paid attention to the story was when you were playing as
Brotherhood?
Ezio.
Yeah, that'd be
Was it?
Brotherhood.
Was it? Yeah. So this was before I
What was
joined the
that,
military.
Brotherhood or 2? Well, they were both Ezio.
Yeah.
I think they were
Yeah.
both Ezio.
There's two.
The
there's two
one,
Ezio games.
it was the one 2009, that time frame, whatever one that was. That was the last time I actually paid attention. I cared about Assassin's Creed story outside of the Animus.
But yeah, I think they would be very well suited to have just been like, not called this Assassin's Creed Valhalla, just been like Valhalla.
Yeah, I feel like they're just like they could transition, but they don't want to lose that IP.
I mean, so making a separate thing. I get why they don't do it. I understand.
I don't. I
Unfortunate.
just think, even though we don't pay attention to it, it's been in each game as a continuation at this point that they can't untie it. I think that's the problem. Because I said this. I mean, they could, but it'd be dumb because you're gonna leave all the because there are people who like that story outside of the Animus, right? Who pay attention to that shit, and so
there are dozens of them.
Right, there are dozens of them. Exactly. The dude who does the gamer ranks before your buy videos and stuff like that or whatever, he said he loves the Assassin's Creed story and stuff like that. So like people like him, I know there's not a lot, but I said the same thing about Odyssey, that it would probably fare better off to just be like, it's called Odyssey, or like Greek Odyssey or mythological, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
This probably would the same, but the 20 minutes I spent outside the Animus wasn't a big deal.
Also,
which
that
honestly,
guy,
it could have been like 5 if I really wanted to.
Shout out to Game Ranks and shout out to Jake Baldino and his Before You Buy
Yeah.
series. Hey,
Yeah, Jake Baldino.
also Falcon the Hero with the other series that they do. Hey,
Yeah, they do a
I
lot
like
of good
those guys.
videos and stuff. Yeah,
I love Game Ranks.
but yeah, like I said, Assassin's Creed, it is kind of a divisive game. But if you liked Odyssey, you're probably gonna like Valhalla. Like I said, honestly, if the combat was a little bit better, I'd probably like it more. Story is way better. Characters are way better. Like the story building of these characters and stuff are way better. I like that. Not everybody likes that. Upper Echelon doesn't like it. He doesn't like how much time they're spending on the characters and stuff like that, I guess, from what he was saying in his review. I don't know. I like it because
Skill Up was like, I loved it forever, and then I didn't because it took too long. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
See, I'm down because
I can already see that.
How many hours did I put in Odyssey on my playthrough and a half?
Too many.
130.
No, it's like 400.
No, it's not.
Tim, you can tell by the way he says it that it's a lot.
It's like 380.
It is over 3, but it's not 4. My library is not loading, so I can't tell. But it is over 300 hours. So like, if you're somebody like me who put 300 hours into a playthrough and a half of Odyssey, and you literally did all of the side content in the base game, that's not including the DLC, by the way. That's just the base game. That's how much time I put in the base fucking game. You'll probably like Valhalla. So I'm I bought Valhalla. I was hoping to play it on Xbox. That didn't happen. I was hoping to play it on PlayStation. That didn't happen. I bought it on PC. It runs great even on my mid-level machine, and I very much look forward to sinking my life into it.
Ben would love to see a World War II Assassin's Creed, killing Nazis from the shadows.
You get to assassinate Hitler.
Dude, I feel
You
like
have to.
that's the great thing about the series is they can really just build off of any part of history that they want, you know?
They haven't made that jump yet, but it feels like they're going to have to here soon. I don't know what the next game, like what culture are they going with next? Because they've done
Well,
American
they
Indian,
would.
right?
I almost bet they would have done ninjas if there was never a Ghost of Tsushima. But
Yeah.
now you can't do that
Yeah.
because somebody already did it better.
It's tough.
Yeah,
Tough. Give that one
Ghost of
some
Tsushima
time.
is just such a good fucking game. I
good.
want every developer who wants to make a fighting system, a third person fighting like melee system, just needs to play Ghost of Tsushima for like 100 hours and just understand how that fucking shit works and just figure out a way to do something similar in whatever game they're making.
Yeah.
Because that
The parry
that-
system is so satisfying.
the whole system is great. Like it's all good. And like I said earlier, the fact that the combat can get as fast as you want or whatever, especially on like those dueling things or whatever,
Mhm.
that shit can get fucking wild.
You know
Sometimes.
what's hilarious to me?
What's up?
We have at least touched on every single game other than, have we mentioned Demon Souls today? We haven't.
Yeah.
We talked about Dark
We've
Souls.
mentioned
Did
it.
we talk about Demon Souls? Okay.
We didn't talk about
Every single game that I was like, I'm gonna play this on a next gen console this week, and then haven't been able to.
So sad.
Every
Yeah.
single one.
Poor Tim.
it. Yeah. Speaking of,
I put Spider-Man in a cart. I put Valhalla in a cart. I put Demon Souls in a cart. I put Ghost
did
of
you-
Tsushima
why
in a
did-
cart.
why did you bother putting the games in the cart? You should just worry about the console. You can get everything else digitally.
No. So I put it because I was just gonna pick it all up at the same time. So I had them in a cart sitting there, and I was waiting on the page so I could just add to cart. And then
Yeah.
that never happened. And then
Mhm.
Walmart deleted everything out of my cart multiple times.
You're not
Like, they
getting
were
this
like-
shit.
They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you wanted the console? Yeah, you ain't getting these games neither."
So
Fucking Walmart.
I do want to say, as I've been sitting here playing the Series X, enjoying my time, nothing about that. I do want to say I am kind of disappointed that there isn't, and this is going back to what Tim was talking about with Halo, that there isn't something that I can only play on Xbox today.
Right.
Because I was just thinking about it, and I was like, man, I'm missing out on trying out that haptic feedback on the PS5 controller.
No bug
And
snacks.
trying out. I don't care about Bugsnax, but trying out Demon Souls, right? Trying out games that I haven't played before, that I
Yeah.
can only play on a console, right? You know what I mean? The Xbox doesn't really have that right now. It is more than I really thought, missing that piece from like the launch. Still went great, and I'm really enjoying having the console, but man, I just find myself going, man, I could be playing this on a PlayStation 5 right now, and I could play Demon Souls.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I could be checking out the new controller. Now, and I will say, I did try to pre-order a PS5 before an Xbox because those pre-orders launched first. I did attempt. Didn't happen. I didn't try as hard either. So, you know what I mean? Like, I gave it a shot.
Fucking- So they need to do something about that shit.
So bad.
Every time something comes in stock, bots just
Yeah. Yeah,
every
and
time.
I don't have a good answer to that. But I have found
I
myself.
do.
I told my wife that earlier. I was like, you know, I could just be playing this. I could play this on a PlayStation. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could play
Right.
Valhalla on a PlayStation.
It
I have
lacks
two
that.
answers for that, and I actually like they're both stuff that I touched on in that article earlier today. One, CAPTCHA. Why the fuck is CAPTCHA not a requirement on checkout? Why do
don't
I gotta
know.
put CAPTCHA in to log in on so much shit? But then when it's like, you're not gonna ask me if I'm a real person before I spend $500 on something? That's fucked up. So like Walmart, Best Buy, like would it eliminate all
Pro-profit.
of the bots? Yeah,
Right.
right. Like it would not eliminate all bots. And at the end of the day, Xbox doesn't give a fuck if you bought that console or if a bot bought that console. It sold a console.
No,
That's success.
I mean,
that's
they
why.
don't.
That's
Bot.
why they're like successful launches. Some people did get their hands on them. GG to those people. That's awesome. I'm very happy that you got your new console. I will get one eventually. I'm patient enough that like I wanted one, and I seem more salty than I actually am. Like it's not that big a
You
deal.
do
Like
seem
I,
really salty. You keep bringing it up.
I'm really,
There's,
I'm really
there's so
not.
many
though.
messages in
Like,
Discord.
There's messages in
Oh,
Discord,
that's
and then he
because
wrote an article like.
I wrote an article because it's like it's something that I've seen pop up multiple times on Twitter, like over the
Right.
last
Yeah.
few days.
Well, right.
Um,
Well, it's not because
and
it's not even. This is like a few months. This is like a 4-month thing now, right?
yeah, this is a
Starting to when the
4-month thing. Like
380s release
Yeah.
yes,
to now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
It's
and
everything.
it's progressively been getting worse over time. And CAPTCHAs and actual retailers actually giving a fuck who buys their products and making sure that it ends up in the hands of end users is one solution. But it's not the only solution. There's actually already something that's been done. There's a law. It's called the Bots Act, believe it or not.
That's
That
so good.
stands for Better Online Ticket Sales Act. It was passed in 2016. What that did is it made it illegal to use a bot to buy tickets for live events such as concerts, games, football games, whatever. You can
Right.
still scalp tickets, but you have to buy the ticket manually. You can't use a bot to buy them in mass and then sell them. Okay. They did that for a specific reason. That needs to be expanded at this point because $32,000 for a console, $8,000 for an
Okay,
Xbox,
but you want to know who's driving that?
$4,000 for a graphics card. The people who are buying them. That's
No,
who's
no, no,
driving
no,
them.
no, no. You want to know who's driving acts like that?
Hmm.
The music industry,
Yes,
which is why we're seeing
ironic.
things like DMCA from Twitch.
Yeah.
Tim, you want to talk about that?
I mean, the only way that it's really affected me, I haven't gotten a takedown. I've seen some people I know who have gotten strikes,
Hmm.
and they're like, "What the fuck? I deleted that clip." We haven't gotten anything on OLIP. We did get a YouTube claim for one of the intro songs that I used in an OLIP vid a long time ago, but that was easy enough to remove. It took all of 2 minutes. Which, by the way, Twitch, YouTube's already figured this out. What the fuck? Let people remove this stuff from their content.
Don't just
Like,
delete their content.
Yeah. And also, if you're gonna make them delete their content, how about you actually delete their fucking content and don't store it in a backend server that's actually still public that bots can still crawl through and issue DMCA's on? Because that's just fucked. That's a thing, by the way.
Yikes.
Also, Twitch support has been responding admirably so to many of the tweets and complaints that have been going their way. I will give them that. Their responses have been shit. They're trying. It's been shit. Ironically, I say, as I'm the one of the 3 of us that's streaming this to Twitch. Don't ban us. But this is the one that kind of has blown up in their faces, and they've been ratioed and quote tweeted and retweeted just because it's such a bad response. They got tweeted and said, "So what about in-game music? Biggest game is about to drop next month, Cyberpunk, and we have to mute all music entirely and ruin the experience for
Everyone?
in the game." And they said, "Hey there," with the little wavy hand. "Thanks for reaching out. We recommend reading through any game's EULA or end user license agreement, and utilizing any option to turn off music in games that include that option or mute the game audio."
It's great. Great boilerplate.
Their solution is, yeah, just turn off all the music or just be the
Don't
grease up
stream.
deaf guy in the game. I'm like, oh, okay. So my immediate thought when I saw that was, can you imagine watching a live stream of Doom where you
Oh my
don't
god.
you don't
Just some
hear the
other music.
shotgun,
Terrible.
you don't hear the demons screaming, and
You don't hear the awesome music?
you don't hear any of that metal? You what?
Whole different game.
Yeah.
There's some games where the music is really integral to the game.
Right, and like
Shit.
I'm sure Doom, they all of their music is owned by Doom. So if you're getting a DMCA strike for the Doom soundtrack, it's coming from Bethesda. They're not gonna do that, right? Like Bethesda Softworks, Microsoft, idsoft, they're not doing that. Okay, so I don't think. I mean, I guess they could. I don't believe they are. But like GTA, what the good luck driving a car with the radio
Yeah.
not clicking on right away with Kanye. Like, oh, okay, that's gonna happen. Um, Cyberpunk, I don't know if there's any like modern tracks. Fallout though, no radio for Fallout. So Fallout 6, whenever it comes out, if you want to listen to old school jazz from the 1940s and 50s,
The ink hearts,
about
the
nuclear.
ink blots.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep.
Did you say Fallout 6?
Yeah, Fallout 6. We're gonna skip.
When that eventually happens.
I was
Way
just like,
down the line.
are you getting Elder Scrolls?
I
and
was
Fallout
waiting to
put
see if
together?
anybody caught that, because I'm like, yeah, but yeah,
It's all the
Um,
caffeine.
I was trying to be clever to see if anybody would catch it. So I wanted to get trolled a little bit. Cody caught it. Good job, Cody. But yeah, so when Fallout 5 eventually comes out, you this is a shit response. This is a joke response. I get their point. Yeah, don't stream copyrighted music. If there is copyrighted music in a game, if there isn't something in the end user license agreement that gives you the permission to broadcast that, you can't. Okay, so GTA, you do need to turn off the radio. That's fine.
This is a
but-
great opportunity for someone to go through every EULA and make a guide for streamers.
Oh, by the way, most games end user license agreements say that you can't, like, they essentially say the game's not for rebroadcast. They don't enforce that, but most of them actually say that you're not supposed to do it. You didn't buy a license to stream the game when you bought the game. You bought the game, or a license to play the game if you bought it through Steam.
Do you think
Right.
that's something that we'll see if Twitch starts becoming stricter with what they allow to be broadcast? Is like you'll have to buy licenses to games to stream them eventually?
I think they'll be included in the EULAs. I don't think you'll have to buy a license to stream it. I think if you do, people like us won't be streaming anymore.
Yeah.
They will lose a lot of mid to low tier streamers. They'll lose some of the high tier streamers who don't want to pay for that, and they kill an entire industry of free advertising.
I mean, they're already having that problem now, right? So I can't quote this from anything, but I can almost 100% guarantee that there's probably been some lower level streamers like ourselves, right, mid level streamers that have gone to YouTube for stuff specifically like this, right? Because they don't have the tools at Twitch to edit things like you were talking about earlier, like they should. And Twitch, I give it to Twitch. At least they acknowledge that it was their fault that the tools weren't already put in place, that they got lackadaisical and they didn't do that. I give them props for at least saying that, but that doesn't change the fact that they're not still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they turned around in the same thing and were like, but if you don't delete your clips, there's nothing we can do.
right.
So they
like,
still are putting it
Yeah.
on you, the streamer,
right.
to fix it
And
yourself.
So it wouldn't surprise me. I have no metadata or anything to back this up by, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's happened where people are like, all right, well, fuck you. Like if you're not going to back me up and I'm on your platform kind of thing, I'm just going to go somewhere else. And YouTube's got this mostly figured out. So I'll just go to YouTube. And granted, YouTube has its own problems, right? You know what I mean? With the ads.
No
and all
platform's
that.
perfect,
Yeah.
but this
Right.
is this almost
But
feels
this is breaking like
yeah.
a lot of people.
Now, Twitch still has an opportunity to fix it. They still have a lot of resources at their disposal to fix it. Whether or not they do is going to be telling in the coming. This is not near over, by the way. Some people are
Nope.
like, it'll blow over. No, DMCA strikes are going to get worse. Once they start looking, they're going to keep looking because the music industry can be kind of predatory with this stuff. So yeah, there's a either Twitch will fix their shit or this kills the platform. There's literally not an in between.
Mixer
You know what the
2.
You know what the in between is? I can tell you what the in between is. The same thing I've been saying for 2 weeks. Twitch making a fucking agreement with whatever industry, whatever people they need to allow their streamers to stream. Whether it be like they beef up whatever that platform, that Twitch music platform that they already have, or they add or they do a subscription to offset whatever cost that is. Like Twitch has to take the initiative because they have the money.
Here's
the
where
streamers
I'm
don't.
here's where I'm diverging with that. I don't think that's the core of the problem anymore, because I think most people are not playing music on stream anymore. They're just not doing it. People are like, and if they
Yeah.
are, they're using
Stream
Stream
Beats.
Beats or a
Yeah.
similar service, right? Any of them, Monster Cat, fucking Epidemic Sound, any of those. There's a lot of them. Anyway, the love you too, TJ. Also, Ben, I'm not ignoring you. Sorry. Trying to keep the flow going. The crux of the issue right now is that people are getting DMCA'd over games licensing music instead of having an original soundtrack. So my general rule of thumb right now is going to be to look at, if you are playing a game that has an original soundtrack for it, you're probably safe.
Probably.
Because that game, that publisher, they own the rights to that song. But
Right.
if you are hearing Flight of the Bumblebees in your game, press that mute button immediately.
I love that
'Cause
that's
you're
your
fucked.
example.
Well, I mean,
That's
Flight
like
of the Valkyries,
young
like,
people
there's
aren't
all
gonna
kinds.
know.
Yeah.
I was gonna play it, and then I'm like, oh, no,
Strike.
Oh
Oh my god.
no,
You almost got us,
not
Tim.
today, not today. But yeah, no, like, if you're hearing something that sounds like you've heard it in a movie, you should turn it off. Like,
Be
for
safe.
your own sake. Don't get sued by a music label for this shit. Don't lose your Twitch channel over it. It's not worth it.
Well,
I say, as somebody who potentially, if bots were to, they haven't apparently gotten to my channel, but if they were to get to my channel could be removed, by the way, because of this.
Yeah, you
Um,
spent a lot of time going back through your VODs, haven't you?
Yeah, I've now finished, like, most of my VODs are cleared out because they don't store affiliate VODs forever. I get like 2 weeks or something like that. They do store my highlights and clips, and so I had to go through and delete clips, lots of clips, and I've had to go through and delete VODs, like highlights that are years and years and years old, because like I had, like, some of my first streams were DayZ streams. And if you play DayZ, you know there's a lot of downtime in DayZ, and it can be a bit boring, especially the mod Arma 2 mod. It was
lot.
not always exciting. There
No.
was a lot of downtime, so I would listen to like AC/DC, and so some of my first fucking clips or highlights were, they had AC/DC in the background. I was like, oh, no. It was very faint. You couldn't
Yeah.
really hear it over the vehicles, but I'm like, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to go. So that's gone.
Sad.
Ben says, I fought DMCA's before and won. They're not always legit or enforceable. True. The problem with Twitch is more, if you get 3 claims, legit or otherwise, you're fucked. And right now, the only way to respond to them is through 1, a legal court, or 2, emailing Twitch
Yikes.
and hoping that they actually act on your behalf. And good luck, because if you're banned, you're banned.
Guilty
until
until proven otherwise.
Yeah. So you can fight it, but like, there are streamers who are actively banned right now that are partners that are not making income because they're banned over stuff that's forever ago. Making claim isn't anything, though, if they can't prove they actually own the content. That's true in a court of law. That's not necessarily true when it comes to Twitch or YouTube, right? Like, you might be able to fight it and get unbanned, but you're still banned for X amount of time. And the initial ban is indefinitely until they don't favor you over a company that could sue them for millions of dollars. They won't. For kind of obvious reasons, but it's also shitty, right? Because you would think that the people that are making content for your platform, your entire business model, would be important to you. But I guess it depends on who you are, because there are guys like Summit that I don't think Summit's even got a DMCA claim on his channel somehow. And Summit, no, he has 3, but he hasn't been banned. So like really depends. 2 of my remixes, they lost claims. My account was in good standing because they couldn't argue benefiting from their content and fell under fair use. What platform was that though, Ben? Because different platforms take different approaches. SoundCloud does not pull basically anything down. Like there's so much stuff that okay, SoundCloud, yeah. SoundCloud doesn't pull like basically anything down. There's a lot of stuff on SoundCloud that is honestly puts SoundCloud at risk, but also they're really good about going to bat on behalf of their creators. YouTube has fleshed out entire systems to fight this, right? You can counterclaim through YouTube, and it's as simple as clicking a button. You can also mute your audio in YouTube. You can cut out the music specifically. They have AI algorithms that are tuned to cut out the music that may be in a copyrighted clip. Twitch has none of this. Twitch's solution used to be just mute the section that's claimed, and that was fine, but it also doesn't fix the crux of the issue, and they didn't continue to do that. I don't even think they do that anymore. If they do, I'm not even sure, but like they don't have as fleshed out of systems, and they're not very good about going through anything. One guy filed a claim saying that I sampled one of his songs, which is literally 10 minutes of silence.
Wow.
What?
Amazing.
I sampled his silence. Oh, I believe it. DMCA is fucking outdated and flawed in a lot of different ways. But I think the broader point I'm making is those platforms are much better about going to bat for you than Twitch. Twitch is just saying, that's not our problem. You deal with it. If you get copyright claimed on Twitch, it's your problem, not Twitch's. If you get copyright claimed on YouTube, it's still your problem, but YouTube is like, here are actually some things you can do about it. You don't have that option on Twitch. And like YouTube, if somebody claims content from your video, you can just give them the revenue on that video and not be in bad standing. Like
options.
Like, yeah, there are no options on Twitch. There's no revenue share option. There's nothing. It's just they claim the content. You get a strike on your account. You can counterclaim it, but you have to go through the process of emailing Twitch. There's no systems in place. It's all done via email. So it's inefficient. They're not going to see every single email.
Tim.
They're not going to respond to every single email, and they don't give a fuck about everybody. What?
I need you to flip my camera on your screen, because on mine, I just noticed this. I'm looking at you on my left monitor, but on the stream it looks like I'm not paying attention because I'm looking the opposite direction of your faces.
I can't blur you.
Right,
well, not right now, but I was just
I got you.
But but I'm like watching the stream. I just looked over and I was like, I don't look like I'm paying any attention, and I definitely am. I'm just staring at you talking.
Because I can flip you.
Yeah, but then you can't read his sweatshirt.
Well, you can't read his sweatshirt on his either because he's mirrored on his.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But yeah,
I'm
so
mirrored on mine. Like this. I am not touching my head with my left hand. But if I look at my own camera, or you look at my stream, because Discord will flip your own camera for you. On Discord, I'm touching my head with my left hand, and my mic is on my right side, but it's not. Because it mirrors it automatically.
Right.
But yeah, no, I just noticed that. I was looking at my stream.
I could actually
on Facebook.
flip mine too then, though. I didn't even think about
I was looking at my stream on Facebook, and I see me looking at you, and then I just happened to look over to the Twitch stream to see if Ben had said anything else, and I was like, it doesn't look like I'm paying any attention to anything you're saying on the Twitch stream. It looks like I'm just looking off into space doing whatever.
Love that.
No, you're totally fine. It's one of those things. By the way, that's a thing that I saw come up recently. A lot of streamers don't pay attention to the way their camera's facing, and so they'll be like playing a game and their camera's on the right side of the stream.
Right. Yeah.
Stream.
Oh no.
It's really disorienting for people. So that's a thing.
All right, Cody, you're all flipped.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Finally paying attention.
I haven't paid attention to anything Tim said for the past half hour.
Oh man.
I've been going for a half hour.
Yes, you've been going for at least 25 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Over
Yeah.
Showtime.
Anyways,
I mean, we spent like a half hour.
we
talking
spent
about
like
Valhalla
40
too.
minutes on Assassin's Creed and the Xbox.
It's a
One
lot
and
of
game
Series
there.
X. There was I had a lot of things to say about Assassin's
Mm.
Do
Creed.
we even want to bother talking about Stadia?
No.
They don't deserve airtime. I was
They're
totally
relevant.
Here's
ignoring
all
that.
you get. If you want to subscribe to YouTube Premium,
I have
you
that.
get a free Chromecast and well, you should get a free Stadia then if you already have
Yeah.
it. Fuck's sake.
I have
Look for it
premium.
in the mail.
You know, hey, you know what I thought about today? I actually hadn't thought about this literally until today, and I've been paying for YouTube Premium for probably 3 years. Why the fuck am I paying for YouTube Premium and I still have to listen to ads and videos?
Oh,
I don't have to watch
man.
YouTube's ads. I gotta watch each channel's ads, and it's like the fuck.
What?
So like YouTube has like their little commercials,
Right.
right? But then inside the video, right? Like if you watch an inside gaming video,
Sure.
they'll have their personal ad.
Oh.
And it's like I'm paying specifically not to watch ads, and now they're all in the middle of everybody's videos.
Yikes.
That's what most people
Roll
do.
ads.
I'm just like, first world problems. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, any closing thoughts, boys? That'll be my closing thought.
Man, I had one before we deep dove.
Yeah. I should
Um,
have accounted for Tim's love of Twitch.
Yes.
My love of what?
Twitch.
Oh,
passion.
I just like I keep up with it because it's part of our model.
Well, no,
right? We
no,
stream
it
on
is.
Twitch.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, you've been streaming on Twitch for a long time outside of OLIP and stuff like that. Like, you've
Yeah.
just been in that ecosystem for what, 5 years now or some nonsense?
Yeah, 2014, so 6 years. Yep.
Okay, so you get what I'm saying. Like, it's just that's kind of part of your life, everyday life, and it has been for a long
I
time.
mean,
And
it's not really my everyday life anymore. I stream like on my channel like once a month right now, and on OLIP like once a week.
Yeah.
But you were
But you
very
get-
I do
into
have-
it.
I do have a closing thought. Write your congressperson about expanding the bots law to encompass our online retail sales so that people can actually buy shit when it releases instead of having to wait till next year. And a lot of people I've seen online are like, why can't you just wait till next year? Well, we can, but the point is, if you don't want to wait till next year, right now you got to pay at least double retail. That's fucked up. You shouldn't have to do that. That's not okay. People are being predatory. And they got called out by IGN, and they actually said, "Oh, they're treating us like animals. Don't call us scalpers. We're resellers." I'm like, "No, you're scalping. That's 100% what this is. You're scalping tickets, but it's not tickets. Like, you're the asshole who used to show up outside of US Bank Stadium trying to sell people Vikings tickets. Now you're just doing it with an Xbox. Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
Get a real job." Yeah,
Also,
that's my
I
closing
agree
thought.
with Ben's final thought that the only acceptable cheese to use in a grilled cheese sandwich is Kraft American Singles. Period.
What if it's a pizza sandwich with pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, but you grill it like a grilled cheese sandwich? Pepperoni and pizza sauce.
If it's a pizza grilled cheese sandwich, that's fine. If it's a
Alright,
grilled
it's-
cheese sandwich, not fine.
Because we had grilled pizza sandwiches the other day.
That
I'm
sounds
gonna tell
really
you right
good,
now,
honestly.
they're really good.
Overall, mozzarella, top tier cheese.
It's not a grilled cheese. It is if you grill it. It's grilled, it got cheese.
Oh my god!
All right, what are we doing? Are we playing anything?
I don't know. What do you
Tony,
guys
got
want
a
to do?
closing thought?
My closing thought was, why do I have to pay for no ads and still have to watch ads because
Oh,
they're
yeah, you
inside
did.
everybody's
You did
video?
say that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Next
I
time on
understand
OLIP.
manscaping is a good deal, and it probably is, but I'm
It's
paying not
actually.
to watch
Those razors are awful.
I've never used.
If you
one.
watch, have you watched any reviews on them? I got bored one night. I watched a review of it. It's like, yeah, this razor's actually kind of shit. You should buy this one instead. It's cheaper and much better, and you can get it at Target. I was like, oh, I'm not buying it, but that's good to know.
Ads, I tell you.
Hey, listen, sometimes.
Tim, the
sometimes-
razor aficionado or whatever. the fuck
No,
that
I'm
word is.
not. I sometimes I see shit, like pop up,
Just
and I'm
out
like,
of curiosity.
So I do some research, and I find out, is this a lie? Usually it is, and I find out how, and then I move on with my life.
Tim, do you ever play those like Ace Attorney style games?
No.
I wonder if you'd like them.
He would.
It's all about figuring
Holmes
out
had me
if people
play
are
that
telling
back
the
in the day.
truth. Oh, really?
Yeah, Holmes
That's
had
awesome.
me play him on his DS or something
Yeah,
like that back
yeah.
in the day. It was good stuff.
Was it Ace Attorney? I feel like there was a
You know exactly what it is.
Adult Swim series.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There is an anime
not
series
crazy.
of Ace Attorney.
It was on Adult Swim for a minute. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I know what it is.
Pretty sure I've seen it on Verve.
I'm just gonna pass on that ass.
All right. Excellent.
Anyways, all right. I'm going to play the closing of Facebook here. So if you were on Facebook today and you liked what you saw, go ahead and like us on Facebook so we can start streaming in 1080p. That'd be great because currently we're capped at 720.
That would be wonderful.
And we will be back next week at 10 o'clock Central. Okie dokie.
Bye.
Bye.
Sí, señor. Bye.